Alison, this would look to be like the bank is treating the third quarter as a kitchen sink quarter because of these write-downs tied to capital requirements and the disposal of its Postbank unit.
So it does seem like that, and it's not surprising whenever you get a new CEO that you do tend to get these kitchen sink charges. Keep in mind that Deutsche Bank is on track to announce a new strategy October 29th. So there's a few things. We're getting a few things here that I think are sort of a preview to that announcement.
And will that new strategy include changing its ROE forecast?
Well, I think the biggest thing that people are watching with the new strategy is what is the bank going to do with its fixed income unit. You know, there's a lot of discussion of whether they will downsize that unit, follow in the footsteps of some other companies that, like UBS, that has successfully transitioned more towards wealth management, Morgan Stanley that has transitioned more towards wealth management, and as a result of that has improved their overall ROE. You know, Deutsche Bank's businesses, they don't have as many choices as some of these other banks, but I think that's one of the main things that people are watching.
Alison, the 7 billion euro write-off, I mean, the market cap of Deutsche Bank is almost 40 billion. I mean, is that kind of write-down actually material for them?
Right. So I think that a couple of material things that we got in this release, you know, obviously 7 billion is a big scary number, but the fact that the bank is saying that they may cut or even eliminate their dividend, so that's obviously a negative. You know, the second thing that we saw in the pre-announcement was a very big legal charge, and they've already taken a fair amount of charges this year, so that really sort of adds on to the big charges that we had in the first half. And again, you know, one of their big issues is capital, their capital adequacy, and Deutsche Bank, along with some of its other European peers, has unfortunately lagged behind in terms of setting aside the legal charges. We saw Bank of America get the bulk behind them last year with some big announcements. We've seen that similarly from some other U.S. peers, whereas for Deutsche Bank and Goldman Sachs, which is one of the U.S. peers that still might have some losses ahead of it, we're still continuing to see these very large legal charges.
Yeah, Alison, you basically anticipated my question. Was there anything or what was in that report that might cause us to look at other banks, especially as earnings season comes up, anything that might sort of read through to peers?
Well, I think you know, the legal charge might be another signal for Goldman. I think, you know, the last quarter, Goldman did take a big provision. They also increased their reserve or their possible losses beyond what they've already reserved for. So it is possible that we could see another charge at Goldman. And, you know, to the extent that regulators sort of move forward with one bank, sometimes that's a sign that things are progressing for another bank. The other thing is, you know, if you look at sort of what they're implying, if you X out all the charges and what they're talking about for their underlying profit, it is lower than, you know, if you look at the consensus estimates. But I guess I would say that, you know, estimates may not have moved to reflect the most recent market movements.
Right.
So they might have been lagging behind, but as you know, there's some pretty negative expectations for trading this quarter.